Being self-aware is torture.
how level.
That it can be, brother. That it can be.
What's up, y'all? I just want to
What
give a
up,
quick
dog?
thank you to today's sponsor, Rage. Not
Oh,
playing. I just want to give a quick thank you for all the
yo, is this like a real animated version of Boondocks, bro? That shit look like Tom.
support on my last
Mr. Dubois,
video. Y'all be
is
leaving the
that
most
you?
wholesome and supportive comments that you got me checking my phone every couple of minutes to check for any new ones. Damn, I wonder if this is what a
Down
drug
bad,
addiction feels like.
for real.
Anyway, thanks again, y'all. So you consider yourself to be a highly self-aware person. At the very least, more aware than most people. You're constantly in your own world, either self-reflecting or trying to better understand why you're the way you are and what sequences of mental processes led you to make the decisions you made.
Bro, if you're thinking like that, you're at like level 6, and there's 10 levels.
Maybe you're drawn to self-improvement related content or psychology videos because it helps you have a better understanding of yourself and therefore
You're definitely around level 6.
have better control of your life so that you can steer it towards a brighter
Which is
direction.
good.
Maybe you've been
Keep going.
complimented by
Oh, well, stop going. At some point, you got to stop. Around level 8, you should probably stop. But that's just advice for someone that decided to go past level 8.
others on how level-headed you are and how you seem to just understand them when in actuality, it's just because you've experienced what they've experienced, with the only difference being that you reflected on it way more than they have to the point where you understand why things turn out that way and what feelings are associated with it. But perhaps that's why people are drawn to you, because your high levels of self-awareness helps them identify things that they struggle to identify within themselves. You ever been called a therapist friend before? Having high levels
Yes.
of self-awareness can give you an edge over other people because it allows you to better identify the parts that make you tick, which in turn can make it easier for you to have control over yourself. It's like you're playing an MMO against other people, but you know the strategies and mechanics to the game better than most.
You're the min-maxer of life. Every little thing that you've done, you're like, yeah, I did this for a reason. Or, yeah, it helped me on my
And
purpose.
therefore are able to level up and get better equipment before everyone else. It kinda
Yep.
sounds like an OP buff to your character build, right? But let's be real here. It's not. It could be a blessing that makes your life richer and more fulfilling than most, or it could be a curse that will drag you down to the endless abyss.
That's about level 9 right here. Level 9. And a lot of people get stuck at level 9.
And the
Also, it's possible to regress in the stages.
reality is, the pull towards the latter is far stronger than the pull towards the former. What do I mean by that? Let's talk about it.
It's the bridge we all have to cross when we all
Have
want
you
to
ever
keep
just
going.
learned or realized something that forever changed the way you think or view the world? It can be a really cool feeling, right? It's like you've awakened from the matrix or you become enlightened. But what if that thing you learned was something you were better off not knowing? What if that realization
Two
constantly
girls.
torments you and makes it harder for you to enjoy things as they are? Most times, that's what high levels of self-awareness feels like. I'm sure you've experienced this before. Maybe you're just chilling in your room, lying in your bed and watching YouTube videos, kind of like right now. A voice in your head is telling you that you should be doing something more productive. Maybe going to the gym, studying, doing your homework, developing a skill, and then you tell that voice, maybe in a little bit, I'm kind of tired right now. But then that voice claps back and utterly destroys you. It tells you, you know you're not actually tired, you're just being lazy. You know that the way you feel is temporary, and you can still act in spite of it. Matter of fact, the way you feel can change once you actually start doing the thing. You might feel lazy now, but once you start getting the momentum going, you'll feel engaged and focused. It's just that building momentum is really difficult, but you've done it before, which is why I know you're capable of taking action right now. And yet, you still haven't. Not by inability, but by choice. And I will constantly remind you as you're lying there staring at your phone that you literally have the power to do something more productive, but choose not to. Damn,
Oh yeah.
that one was too real for me.
No, that was
All right.
good. That was pretty deep. I think you hit a couple people with that one. At least I hope so. That was really good. Life is soup and I'm the fork. Well, damn, brother.
Right, here's another one. Maybe you've realized that you're a socially anxious person. You've learned what situations get you anxious and when your anxiety starts spiraling out of control. This results in you doing one of two things. Case 1, you actively choose not to get yourself into situations that trigger your social anxiety, such as avoiding and turning down any
Avoidance.
invitations to social events or just staying in as much as possible.
Mm.
Case 2, you get yourself into those said situations.
You should ignore that. You should definitely go out, especially if someone's invited you to go out. That's basically a free memory. Whether it's going to be good or bad, it's regardless, but it's a free memory versus staying inside the house. If you always stay inside the house, good luck remembering anything you do because you're always inside the house.
Start feeling
There's
anxious,
nothing wrong,
realize that you're feeling anxious,
you
become
choose your memories.
hyperfixated.
Sorry, let me continue this before we continue videos. Memories are past events. Whenever we have a memory, like I remember this time that this happened, it is an event that happened in life, which led you to this this epiphany of, oh, I remember this point in time, right? You have to make more of those if you would like to be, if you would like to give yourself a way to consider yourself successful or be more fulfilled, you need to make memories. So even if you don't have the money, even if you don't have the cars and whatever, the thing that's mentally blocking you from saying I'm not successful, if you make memories whenever you want to say I'm not successful, oh, I remember when I did this. I remember when I did that. And it becomes, whether you like it or not, it becomes like a checklist of things that you have done, especially if you have enjoyed them. And really, to say you've made it in life, this is just my opinion, to say you've made it in life is to go through adversity and come out on the other side. Now, sometimes you might not come out unscathed, but you coming out at the end of the day, that's a win. If you go splunking into a cave, anything could happen in the cave. Or maybe it's just a chill cave you just walked around, but it's something you've done. It's something I've done. I've gone into caves. Even though I had a guide with me, she was sitting and teaching me everything about the cave. So I was getting information. Sure, I didn't go in on my own with a flashlight and explore it. You don't need to do that. It's just something that you check off like, hey, I've done this, I've done that. And if you have done these things, you have explored more aspects of life, which at the end of the day, I think that's the true meaning of life. Just what are the things that you enjoyed while you were here and what can you pass on, right? Because, we have children. What do we have children for? Everybody has their own reason for having a kid, but what's the legitimate reason for having children when you think of it as a human? Well, it's to pass on your genetics. When you pass on your genetics, when you have your kid, what do? You teach your kid. When people see their children, they're like, wow, they're just like me, or wow, you're just like whatever. Or whenever you meet your friends' kids, and you're like, dang, you just like your dad, or dang, you just like your mom. Or you meet some family member, damn, you just like your aunt, or yeah, that's instilling wisdom and intelligence into this smaller human being. And maybe they'll grow up and figure out their own ways in life. But at the end of the day, that is what your life is. This is what our lives are, is to pass on something for the next whatever. That's it.
Situation.
It's a good thing, by the way. I know I'm making it seem like, oh, what you do in your life is special. Whatever you choose to do, it just is what it is till it ain't.
Start feeling anxious, realize that you're feeling anxious, become hyperfixated on the fact that you're feeling anxious, making anxiety even worse, and as a
And do it
result,
anyway.
you end up having a horrible time in said social situation.
I was going to say, well, I said you do it anyway, because that's bravery.
Because you are too stuck in your own head that you fail to just take in the moment. You know what this all sounds like? Self-induced torture and sabotage. Honestly, that's what high self-awareness feels like sometimes. It can be problematic in that it either takes away from the moment and prevents you from being present, or it makes you so aware of your problems that you begin to internalize them and make them your identity. You're not feeling anxious. You're an anxious person. You're not feeling lazy.
That's okay.
You are lazy. You
And
can't
that's
enjoy
okay.
relaxing. You know you're capable of doing more. It's moments
You
like
could.
these where high self-awareness drags us down to wallow in our own misery. And unfortunately, these
Don't
aren't
wallow
one-off
in it,
moments that
brother.
happen from time to time. They're an everyday occurrence.
The best way to stop wallowing in your misery is to talk to somebody else, and they'll tell you how miserable their lives are, and you can say, I'm glad that's not me. No, honestly, that's honestly it, bro. Like, as shitty as it sounds, your life is better than the next person. And in return, their life is better than the next person. It's just life, bro. We all go through different stages at different times. But the longer you stay alive, the more you realize you have shit to be grateful about, bro.
So now you're like, damn, this sucks. Thanks for making me
Nah,
aware of
bro,
the
you'll
flaws
be
of
all good.
self-awareness.
You'll be
Now
all
I'm going to be thinking about it all the time, thus making my day-to-day even more tormenting. And to that,
Oh,
I
stop
say,
being a little
hey
baby.
man,
You'll
You're
be all right.
welcome. That's what homies are for, to drag each other down so that they can suffer
What the
together.
hell?
Well, it doesn't have to be that way. Like I said before, high self-awareness could be a blessing or a curse. It all depends on what actions we decide to take given the information high self-awareness provides us with. If we're aware
It
that we
gives
have
you
a lot of
more.
mental baggage to sort out, do we choose to do the internal work so
Yes.
that it doesn't fester and manifest in unhealthy ways? If we're aware that we're feeling lazy and that the feeling is temporary, do we decide to push through and take action in spite of how we feel? That's how you utilize high self-awareness to live a more meaningful and fulfilling life. The reality is that it's a damn difficult thing to do. Why? Because our brain naturally follows the path of least resistance, and it's far easier to just do nothing and wallow in our own misery than it is to go against that feeling and act in spite of it. But it's
But with self-awareness, you can do it because now you're aware of the problem. You're lazy. Why are you lazy? When you figure that out, then just don't do whatever that thing is. And yes, it sounds more simple than it is, but that's the point. You're going against your nature. If you're a lazy human, if you don't want to be a lazy human anymore, then stop being a lazy human. The hard part is on you to figure out how to do that. And there's guides everywhere to figure out how to do it. There's things that'll help you in life. There are tools that have been created since mankind first developed fire, and fires turned into light bulbs. Yet fire still exists.
precisely the fact that it is so difficult that suggests how valuable it is.
Hajime
The
no
things we
Ippo,
value in
baby.
life, whether it be material or intangible, aren't easy to attain. If you want a
Nope.
nice car, you need a lot of
You gotta
money.
work
To
for
get
it.
a lot of money, you need a well-paying job. To get a well-paying job, you have to put in the work to show that you're worthy of that position.
This is just one step, bro. It's life. There's multiple ways to get a fast car. You can get fast money to get a fast car. Right? You could steal a fast car. There are several things for you to do in order to get this car. It's just there are these imagination shackles that are on all of us, right? Because we are aware of consequences. You know, everything in life has consequences. That doesn't mean you cannot do these things. Just expect consequences for these actions, right? And if you want to go the right way of getting these luxuries, well, you're going to have to do a lot of hard work to get it the right way. Like Messi said, he became the greatest player in the world overnight, which is him joking because a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, how'd he get it? Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Anybody wants to make up any reason for somebody else's success, right? We call those people haters. They're professional haters that just hate because they love to hate because that's just their life. That's who they are. They hate people, right? They will belittle and say every little thing, even though you know what it took to get to where you are. Other people will say, oh, well, it probably wasn't that hard, or oh, I could probably do it. Well, why haven't they done it? How come you've done something they haven't done? We all have differences, right? At the end of the day, we're all still human. We all get this sense of envy. We all get this sense of all the positive things in life are balanced by the negative things in life. It's all balanced, bro. As it should be, some say.
If you want a healthy relationship, you need to find someone you're compatible with. To know who you're compatible with, you need to know yourself in terms of your traits, your flaws, your values, and what you seek in a person. To know yourself, you need to do the internal work. These aren't easy things to do. If they were, everyone would be thriving. But surprise, surprise, everyone's depressed and desperately searching for the will to live like it's the one piece. But who knows? Maybe the reason why we're so depressed and empty is because we don't have the awareness to identify the things worth pursuing in our lives. Maybe you're thinking, bro,
Yeah, a lot of people don't.
this all sounds
That's
like
true.
ass. Having high levels of self-awareness is straight doggy doo-doo. Whether I choose to wallow in my own misery or act in spite of how I feel, it
Just
still
level 9.
sucks. And either
Really.
way, the
Level
awareness
8, level
continues to
9,
make
bro.
me feel like shit. I wish
Level 8 and level 9. That's okay. There's probably levels past level 10, right? I said the scale's 1 through 10. Maybe it's higher than that. And there's a quite large chance that it is higher than that, right? But why focus on 11, 12, 13 when you can't even get past 9, right? So don't that is also part of self-awareness, right? To know, hey, I'm going to struggle becoming more self-aware. But you watching the video, being self-aware is torture. You willingly clicked on this video, right? And I think a lot of the video, a lot of information that's in this video is correct. It's definitely more focused on the dooming aspect of it, but that is part of life and that is part of growing. It's not always sunshine and rainbows, right? But we all know this. We all know this. But it's also not always doom and gloom. There are bits of hope that you can latch onto. And in return, it will help you grow into a better human being. It just will. You just have to keep going. Because if you don't keep going, well, then, okay. I don't got nothing else to say for you, brother. It was nice talking to you while you were still around.
Wish I wasn't so self-aware, because at least that way I could be in ignorant bliss. It's only a problem if I make it out to be one, and that's exactly what my self-awareness does. And to that, I say, yeah, it is ass, man. I
Welcome.
mean, I think the title of this video speaks for itself. And what are you going to do about it? Is reality going to bend itself backwards for you because you don't like the way it is?
Nope.
Shit, if that's the case, do me a solid and send an Asian baddie my way. Welcome
There
to
you
the
go.
human experience. This is our reality, and all we can really do is make the most out of the cards we've been dealt, and you've been given the high self-awareness card. Maybe you think it sucks, and that's completely valid. There's nothing wrong with you for feeling that way. Don't fall into the trap of pathologizing the way you feel. It's all a feature of the human experience. But whether you like it or not, life will continue to move forward, and either you do your best to trudge along with it, or succumb to the weight of your burdens and get
And
left behind.
that is the real teacher. Honestly, if there was like a climax in this video, this one would be it. That would be the climax of this video because like as an artist, whenever you watch films, there are multiple climaxes. There's a climax for life, and there's always a climax for the actual film itself, right? And this would be like the climax of the video, in my opinion. Life, of course, is what you make it. Life, of course, is hard. Life, of course, will get you down and depressed. But life is also full of amazing things. Life can lead you on a journey that you would never even know, right? But it's up to you to do like this, or it's up to you to become like this guy in this stock video. It's up to you because regardless if you like it or not, life will just keep on moving and it will leave you behind and you will feel bad and you'll be in misery, but there are people that are willing to help you out of that misery because as humans we all feel miserable. There's something in life that makes all of us feel bad and down and upset, and it's up for all of us to work with each other because we are human, and it's what humans should do. Apes together strong, humans together strong.
Furthermore, I don't think having less self-awareness is the solution to your anguish. Problems are
Facts.
problems, whether you're aware of them or not. Being less
Facts.
self-aware just means you'll struggle to identify them. Why do you think your dad beats you or resorts to alcoholism? It's because he has his own problems he needs to sort out, and he doesn't have the awareness to identify and deal with them. Do you want to be just like your dad? Okay, that was a
And you
lot.
will become just like your dad. You will. The cycle of abuse will continue because that's just how it works. That is how it works. Legitimate. And he was joking, but he was being for real. And if he wasn't, I am. You will continue the cycle of abuse, whatever your parents abused you with, whether it was physical, emotional, verbal, mental, it doesn't matter. But it's up to you to break that cycle. Why is it up to you? Because your parents failed. And that's okay. Parents fail. Humans fail. Nobody made a book on how to raise children. And if there is a book on how to raise children, I guarantee it won't work for 100% of everybody on earth. And that's a guarantee. That's a fact. That's something you cannot dispute. It don't matter who, it don't matter. But it's up to you to change who you are. That's it. That is it.
Out of pocket, my fault. But
Appreciate
hopefully
you.
you get the point. You gotta pick your poison.
Exactly. Pick your poison, brother.
Is there any way to combat self-awareness so that it's less agonizing and doesn't sabotage as much? Yeah.
Yes. Friendship, family, communication, purposefully going out of your way to do things that you know in the long run it's good for you, whether that be diet, exercise, or purposely going out and communicating with other human beings, even if you may feel it might be pointless, or it might make you socially awkward, or you feel like you don't fit in, right? As humans, we are social creatures. We love to fit in, but you need to remember you cannot fit in everywhere. So get in where you fit in, literally. If you don't fit in here, time to talk to somebody else. If you don't fit in here, time to talk to somebody else. YouTube is a great platform because that helps you figure out where you fit in at. If, you know, everybody subscribes to a creator for a certain reason, right?
Yeah, it's by accepting it.
I subscribe to Soyo Think I'm Stupid because he makes interesting videos about life. And I like his cartoons and I like his humor. Maybe you're one of the 8,000 subscribers because you enjoy the same thing. Maybe you're one of the 1.7 thousand viewers because you enjoy the same thing. Boom, we automatically have some type of connection. But this one connection isn't, everything. But that's where you find connection in other things. That's it, bro. It's just life, bro.
At least, that's what's
It's
helped
life,
with me.
bro. It's life.
Awareness is just your mind's way of processing information and perceiving reality. When you come to terms with the fact that that's just how your mind operates, it becomes less tormenting because you finally stop resisting it. And remember, your
Bro,
brain
that's me around the house
operates. It
24/7,
becomes
bro.
less tormenting because you
The
finally
only time I wear clothes is for these videos, bro.
stop
That's the
resisting it.
only
And
time I do
remember,
it.
your brain follows the path of least resistance. Now,
Facts.
don't take this the wrong way. Acceptance does not mean negligence and complacency. Resisting the feelings associated with high self-awareness is not the same as resisting the trait that is high self-awareness. You can accept the fact that that's just how your brain operates while still resisting the feelings that come with it. Matter of fact, I think that's something you should do so that you aren't a slave to your own emotions. Emotions are like the wind, they come and go. If you're always drifting along with them, you'll end up nowhere near where you want to be in life. Here's another thing you can do to make self-awareness less agonizing. Learn to be kinder to yourself. Who said you had to be perfect? That you always have to be productive? That you can't feel like human garbage from time to time? We're all going to
Yes.
have our moments of weakness where we fall
Yes.
back to our old ways. And when we're
Yes.
especially hard on ourselves and beat ourselves up for it,
It's
it
okay,
makes it
bro.
so much harder to bounce back and get our shit together again. You know when
It's
your dad would
okay.
beat you as a kid for doing something and you were too terrified to do that thing again? Yeah, that's what you're doing to yourself, but emotionally. So chill out. Take your steps forward, forgive yourself when you end up
Bro.
taking a couple steps back, and continue to move forward when you're ready.
Bro, keep talking about the dad
The way
beating
we
your
think.
ass. Bro, I'm sorry, bro. But if your dad was beating your ass, oh man, I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine growing up like that, bro. How the hell can you even? Oh man, that's got to be tough, bro. That's got to be completely tough for everybody that's been beaten by their parents, bro. If you made it out a stronger person, bro, you definitely are a champion. There's like no ifs, ands, or buts about it, bro. Because that type of abuse is crazy, and for you to come out the other side a winner, even if sometimes you don't think you are, bro. If you're not doing the same to other people, you're a winner, bro. You're a winner.
The traits we have, the features we were inherently born with, they are all tools we can pull out of our tool belt to help us navigate this journey that is life. Whether we choose to build a beautiful house or destroy everything around us, all depends on how we
Choice
use
is a
those
choice.
tools, and high
All
levels of
choices have
self-awareness is
consequences,
just one of many of them.
and
Being
it helps.
self-aware is torture, but it's also the key that allows us to find our own purpose and meaning in life, and that's a price I'm willing to pay. What about you?
You also have no choice but to pay it. You have no choice but to pay. You could pretend to accept it. You could truly accept it, and in truly accepting it, I think you realize that you you just go with it. You go with the flow because that's just what we all do. Surf the waves of life, bro. All right, this is a great video.
Alright,
This was a
that's
great
it for
video.
now. Take care, guys. See you
No
next
doubt.
time.
Amazing video. Link in the description. Go check out the channel. Go sub. Great channel. Great channel. Also, bro, you need to put your tags in, bro. It'll help your video get boosted in the SEO. Just type in like being self-aware is torture. Make sure you have that in your description, somewhere in your description. Make a hashtag of just your name because I see your channel growing and blowing up. Uh, and put that stuff in here. So being self-aware is torture should be a tag right here. Being self-aware is torture reaction in case other people react to your video should be in here. And I'll teach you more if you want to learn. But yeah, that was a great video. I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good day.